Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Let's talk Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, Episode 7, The Beef is Served. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, thumbsing up the video, and then hop in the comment section so we can respectfully talk about everything that happened on this episode. So the episode picks up right where it ended last week, where Mia is on the phone with Peter. And she's asking Peter, why does he have beef with Wendy? Where is his energy coming from? He said that he'll address Wendy tonight. Mia in her confessional said that if Peter has a problem with someone, or if he has beef with somebody, that it is usually because they're messing with his business or his money. Mia is saying that she has known Peter for years and years and years. So, she's qualified to make that assessment, apparently. So we get to Robin, Giselle, and Ashley. So they are standing outside, they are in Giselle and Robin's room. And Ashley comes in and she said that some guy that she used to date is in her DMs. So she's like, whoa, where's all of this coming from? Giselle tells her, yeah, you absolutely should have any ex that's going to pop up in your DMs. That's typically what happens when you break up with somebody, right? That's standard par for the course. Ashley tells them in regards to the house. So she made an offer on the house. The current tenants, or the current residents of the house, said they would not leave until, I think she said, like end of July. Ashley wants to be out in June, so she's going to rescind her offer because she wants to get out ASAP. She said that Michael's being very difficult. He's like just complaining about things, and they're like, yes. So Giselle and Robin tell her, Michael probably thought you were just bluffing. So the fact that you are like going full steam ahead with this, they can't take it. They don't know how to deal with it. He doesn't know how to deal with it. So that's why he, is reacting in this way. He probably doesn't really want the divorce. I don't think it's because he like overly loves her or anything. I think it's more so because he don't want to have to pay her. Charisse wants to leave still. Bye. Mia is trying to convince her that she won't get into a quality hotel, and she ends up convincing her to stay. We know that Mia wants her to stay so that Candace is going to have to share a room or a bed with somebody else, which, whatever, Mia. Jacqueline is asking Mia to borrow deodorant. Mia gets upset about that. She said that is like the second or third thing that Jacqueline has asked her for. I'm sorry, Jacqueline. Completely unacceptable for you to not have deodorant. Why didn't you, I have never traveled and forgotten something like that. And if you do, because it does happen, then you need to go to the store. But it seemed like she was asking Mia for a bunch of stuff. Their dynamic is very weird. It was weird seeing how mad that Mia got at her. I guess we're going to see the beginning of the end of their relationship. But it seems like this trip definitely is kind of what puts the nail in the coffin for them. So we get Wendy talking to Karen. Karen said that she is excited. She's going to engage with her friends while she's there, which means won't be talking to Charisse. So she says she hasn't been friends with Charisse for over 5 years because of the way Charisse behaved at their reunion. Karen has had an issue with Charisse since Charisse got on that reunion for, I believe, season 2. And said that Karen has a boyfriend named Blue Eyes, who Karen said was just her driver bodyguard. So she said that Charisse asked her to do lunch. Karen said, we can go to Starbucks. Coffee is all the rave right now. She was like, I even heard they have matcha. I said, Karen is clowning. I always get the matcha at Starbucks personally. Love a matcha latte. So I would have been all for it. So personally, I wouldn't have told that to Wendy, because Wendy does run and take stuff back to other people. We've seen a couple scenes where it has been like, well, Wendy said. So I feel like Karen was just kind of careless with that, unless Karen wanted it to get back to Charisse anyways. So we get to Mia, Giselle, and Ashley. So they're outside, and Mia is telling Giselle and Ashley that they are going to Bar 1 tonight, which is Peter's restaurant. Giselle said that she heard from Peter that Wendy researched everything about him so that she can find some type of connection so that she can present this business idea to him. To me, that sounds smart. Like, if I want to go into business with this person, why not find out everything about them? Why not find out the type of businesses that they like to do, that type of stuff, so that, yeah, we can go into business together. So I didn't understand Giselle feeling the need to do that. But okay. So we then, everybody's kind of like taking shots before they leave. And they're like, do you guys want a shot? I think Ashley was like, do fairies live in the forest or something like that? And Mia was like, does a frog have a watertight asshole? And everybody was like, the fuck are you, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who, Mia? I just feel like sometimes a joke lands flat if you have to repeat a joke twice and nobody reacts, it fell flat for you. It fell flat. So Jacqueline, Wendy, Mia, and Karen are all in one car, and they are talking about Sharice and Karen. And they're saying how, Karen seems to be okay with Sharice thus far. Jacqueline tries to say something, and Mia was super rude to her and was just like, shut up, or I'm not talking to you. And it's like, Mia, what's really the problem? What's really the problem? I was watching, was it Kia Simone Speaks? I think it was Kia. And she was saying how Mia probably, last week I was watching her recap, and she was saying how Mia like looked pissed when Jacqueline asked her, did she want the server on her plate? So maybe she's upset about that still. I don't know, but it's weird how like angry she's being with her. So Mia said that Sharice was being very dramatic about the whole bathroom situation. And she was saying that at least she has a bed, unlike Candace. And Wendy kind of looked up and was like, whatever. Because I think, here's the thing. It's absolutely irresponsible, not only of Mia, but on Bravo, to allow them to book a house where Candace does not have a place to sleep. Irresponsible. So we get to Sharice, Ashley, Giselle, and Robin. Now they are in the second car. They're talking about pooping and farting. And Sharice is saying that she has never done that in any relationship in front of any man that she's dating. Robin then goes on to say that she walks around naked in front of her boys, her teenage boys. And they're all looking at her. Giselle was like, I can do that because I have girls. Robin said that her kids would just walk in so she can be in the shower and her son would just walk in. Corey is 14 years old. That is completely unacceptable, Robin. It's not okay to do. So then Ashley was like, yeah, my mom used to do that too. And Giselle was like, yeah, but you're a girl. And she was like, no, with my brother. Like, my mom still does that. And everybody was like, I feel like Robin just needs to be quiet. Like, Robin shares so much that we didn't need to know. We probably should have never found out. It's not okay for us to find out. Like, let's not. So we then get to bar one. Wendy in her confessional said that it is just a perfect coincidence that they are at bar one. But if she does see Peter, then she will, definitely speak to him. But she does not want to talk business with him in that moment because that's not what she's there for. And I feel like that's fine. That's valid. I see nothing wrong with that. So Robin asks Robin asks when Candace is going to land, if anybody knows. Ashley said that it was going to be different. And everybody was like, don't do that, because that was unnecessary to say. Robin said, well, it's because you guys have a big issue. You were just screaming and yelling at each other about her husband. Ashley said that Candace does not like when a mirror is held up in front of her face. I do agree with that. I know a lot of y'all don't, but I agree with that. Anytime somebody says anything to Candace about her or her marriage or anything like that, she does deflect. She does get super defensive, and she does have the right to, absolutely. But we can't act like Candace does not say and do things about these other women in their relationships as well. True or not, Candace still does the same thing to them. So Ashley then said, Ashley then asked, excuse me, who else heard me say that Chris was like rubbing up on my friend's ass or whatever? Giselle's lying ass was like, I promise that you said that. She didn't though. Unless it was edited out, she didn't say it. So Candace is basically saying that, Ashley basically saying that if I would have said it, I would definitely own up to it, but I didn't. I said that he had like leaned in and I even demonstrated. So everybody is like, yeah, I heard it too. Yeah, y'all heard it from Giselle. Y'all didn't hear it from nobody else but from Giselle because Ashley didn't say it. So they kind of just laugh it off, and I'm like, probably shouldn't gloss over that. One thing to say you're uncomfortable, Giselle, it's another to lie and say that this man is rubbing all over and touching on another woman. Like, that's like, let's not just blatantly lie about stuff when you already got a situation going on with her. So Giselle then said that she was excited to see Karen and Charisse speak at the airport, and they both had smiles on their faces. And Karen was like, I did. Giselle then goes on to say, have you guys spoken since? And you hear Karen say Giselle, which means don't start this shit. I don't want to talk about this shit. I don't want to deal with this shit. Just don't. So Charisse said that, well, Charisse kind of brushes her off. And it's like, well, when someone says that you're not coming from a good place. And Karen was like, well, who said that? I didn't say that. And she was like, well, Wendy. Wendy said that. And they showed the clip of Wendy talking to Charisse. Wendy does not blatantly say, Karen doesn't think you're coming from a good place, but she definitely insinuated at it, hinted at it, all but said it. So Wendy gets super defensive, as Wendy typically does whenever stuff that she has said travels back. So Wendy gets defensive and said that Charisse is deflecting, and this issue is only between her, Karen, and Charisse, which is true. So why did you get involved, Wendy? Why did you get involved? Wendy should have never went back and forth between the women at all. It was unnecessary for her to do. Completely unnecessary for her to do. There was no reason for you to talk to Karen, then turn around and basically go talk to Charisse about the conversation with Karen. That's being messy. And whenever Wendy does that and she gets called out for it, it's just reminding me of Sonia Richards-Ross from last season of Atlanta when she did the same thing. She talked to Kenya, then turned around and heard everything that Kenya said, and when it said the exact same thing to Marlo, then could not understand why Kenya was mad at her. It's the exact same scenario. So Wendy was like, well, Mia is the one that said that she now understands why Karen doesn't want to fuck with you. So now Mia is mad, and Mia was like, I said that Charisse was being theatrical and about not having a bathroom. Charisse then said that she asked Karen to go to lunch to find out what the issue is with them. Karen said, look, I have moved forward. I've moved, people grow up and apart, which is true. I have moved forward and I've left the past in the past. I feel like, Charisse, that should have been your answer. Y'all don't need to go to lunch. Y'all don't need to go out for coffee or drinks or matcha or nothing else. She don't want to do nothing with you. She don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, nothing. Let it go. Let it go. Peter comes over to the table, speaks to everyone. Wendy then asks him, is the Nigerian shrimp on the menu new? Peter was like, no. Wendy really should have just said, hey, Peter, how you doing? And kept it going. So Peter tells her, let me holler at you, after this. Wendy agrees. Ashley then asks Mia if Peter was joking about the stuff with Wendy, because as far as Ashley can see, she said he was being his typical jovial Jamaican self. Charisse gets up from the table. She goes to the restroom. Mia gets up and goes to talk to Peter because she wants to find out what the beef is. Mia's doing too much. But now Mia is on a rampage because Wendy basically called her out about saying that she is now more so, she understands Karen's point of view now. So Peter is talking to Mia and Charisse. Peter said that he sent over a contract over paperwork to Wendy. She did not respond. To him, that's a slap in the face. For her to now be in his restaurant in his city and not reach out to him when they basically have unfinished business. Sharice is like, well, this is not involving me. I just want to pick your brain about a champagne lounge. Girl, bye. I'm so sick of Sharice talking about champagne all the time. Girl, if you don't go and like find some type of distributor to just sell some champagne and call it a day, Jesus Christ. So Peter was like, I don't know. Are you going to blow me off like Wendy? And she was like, I'm not Wendy. I'm not Wendy. Don't even worry about that. Mia, who really don't even know Sharice, is like, her check is going to clear. Mia probably shouldn't be talking about money, considering that we done saw what blew up with her and her situation recently on social media. So Peter's just telling Mia how excited he was that Wendy is now here when, she hasn't reached out back to him. So Mia tells him, I wouldn't even waste your time. She probably don't have the money. And, put all your money on Sharice because her check is going to clear. Sharice's check would definitely clear, but we're assuming. But I just feel like Mia is involving herself into Wendy's financial business unnecessarily. So we're back at the table, and Jacqueline is basically telling the group how we've been friends since we were kids, but if I would have met her as an adult, we probably wouldn't be friends. What? I feel like everything is just so chaotic about this dinner for no reason. Jacqueline is mad because Mia's been being rude to her this entire time. Mia is seemingly upset because Jacqueline, called out the fact that maybe Mia has extracurriculars. Mia's in Wendy's business. Sharice is mad at Wendy for going back and talking to Karen. It's too much. So Mia comes back to the table and said that Peter has beef with Wendy. Wendy looks shocked and confused. She didn't know they had beef. So Wendy said, well, I don't beef with men. So if he has an issue with me, he needs to call my husband, which is true. But this is also Patricia Thomas, the unofficial house husband of Atlanta. Peter is going to have beef with you whether you are a man or a woman. So Wendy is in her confessional. She said that Peter sent over a red line for her to review. She has not talked to him yet. Now, that's going to be he say, she say. Nonetheless, Wendy has said that she has not responded. So that is absolutely true. Mia then goes on to say how Wendy should have let Peter know she was coming. That is not her nigga. That is not her husband. That is not her boyfriend. That is not her father. Why would she have to let him know that she's in his town? So Wendy is like, I don't have to let nobody know that I'm in town if it's not my husband, which is a valid point. And Giselle and Robin are like, but it's business. She's not there on a business trip though. That's the thing. It would be different if Wendy was down there on a business trip. She's down here on a quote unquote girls trip that is she's down on a quote unquote girls trip that is for Karen's birthday. She's not there on business. She didn't know they were going to Bar One. Mia did that. I don't think Mia did that to be messy, but she didn't have to tell Peter that she was in town, point blank. So Mia and Wendy are going back and forth on whether or not Wendy has to let a person know she's in town if she's not there on business, but she's doing business with her. The entire thing is stupid. Words are being flown. Mia tosses, I don't know if it was water. It must have been water. She tosses a glass of water in Wendy's face. Completely unnecessary. You are not that mad. Wendy then goes on to say that, just because you and your husband are messing with men and women. So that causes everybody to get super, super hype. Karen and Ashley both jump up from the table. Mia is yelling for Wendy to get up from the table. Security comes out so that there's no fight. Mia is yelling. Wendy is yelling. Robin is calling Wendy antagonistic. She feels that she's antagonizing. Antagonistic? Why can't I say the word? Y'all know what I mean. So Robin feels that Wendy is antagonizing Mia in this moment. In this moment, she's not. In this moment, she's not. Everything that Wendy is saying is very valid back. Robin, for whatever reason, Robin pulls out her phone and said that she doesn't want any he say, she say to go down. Robin is then telling Wendy, if you want to fight, then go fight. If not, stop antagonizing her. But see, the thing is, Robin, you do the same shit though. Robin, this is exactly how you were. Wendy is condescending. Wendy does antagonize people, but so does Robin. Because let's not forget, a lot of the fights that we have seen Robin almost get into, Robin has been the main one doing a lot of bumping of the gums. The umbrella scene with Monique, Robin did a lot of talking. Did you want to fight then, Robin? Because if you want to fight then, why didn't you fight? When y'all were sitting at Ashley's TikTok class and you stood up, you were doing a lot of talking, trying to antagonize her too. You're antagonizing Wendy right fucking now. Right fucking now. Do I think this is colorism? No. I think this is Robin being a bitch. I think this is Robin not liking Wendy, so she's going to antagonize and she's going to try to gaslight Wendy. Wendy had every right to be pissed that a fucking glass of water just got thrown in her face over an argument. Over an argument. So Ashley then said that whenever anyone throws a drink, she agrees that that's fighting. Those are fighting words. That's a fighting action, and is. It is. They then do a slow-mo, because everybody's asking how did none of the water get on Karen. They do a slow-mo of the drink hitting Wendy in the face and everybody else's reaction. Mia walks away from the table. Jacqueline goes after her and it's like, you know, this is not who you are. You have too much to lose. You're a boss. You're a CEO. Yada, yada, yada. Mia said that, you know, Wendy shouldn't have come after her husband. Which she shouldn't have. She shouldn't have come after her husband. She really shouldn't have come after her husband. Mia comes back to the table. Karen said that they were both wrong. Giselle is like, you're humping the fence because Karen's not picking a side. There's no side to pick. Like Karen said, two wrongs don't make a right. She said, I'm a friend to everybody at this table, including your raggedy ass. That shut Giselle up. Giselle just wants to see a fight. Giselle just wants to hype up, and I don't mean like a physical fight. Giselle wants to see an argument. You don't have to pick sides in this. One, Mia should have never got involved in this. Two, Wendy shouldn't have. Well, first, Wendy shouldn't have even brought Mia up in that situation. But Mia did come at her first. It's tick for tack. They were both wrong in the situation. They were both wrong. Mia and Wendy are still going back and forth. Wendy now stands up because she's trying to get to Mia. Wendy is still going back and forth, back and forth. Security carries her to the side, tells her, this ain't you, boo. You're doing too much. Fall back, relax, calm down. All words that nobody wants to hear when they're in that state of positivity. Mia has now walked away, or excuse me, now Mia is now standing up. Robin is telling Wendy, stop antagonizing her. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it fall back. In this moment, I'm thinking if they both would just shut the fuck up, things would go a lot smoother. They haven't even had dinner yet. They've only had their appetizers. Mia stands up now. She hits Wendy with her purse. Like hits her on the back or something like this. Hits her with the purse. And this is where Bravo, I know people are blaming the cast, but this is where Bravo has to step in and stop perpetuating this. Because while this is a situation that happened, and yet Mia is completely fucking in the wrong, because there was no reason for you to hit that lady with your purse. There's no reason for you to throw a drink in her face. Bravo, at the end of the day, has to stop airing stuff like this too. Stop talking about it. Cut it from the scene. Give people that are physically violent, and that type of stuff, get them off the show. So in the same way that Monique got iced out, Mia should be the same. This wasn't as big as detrimental as a fight that that Monique had with Candace, but Mia's ass should be gone too. You assaulted her. Let's be real. You threw a drink in her face and then you hit her with the purse. Now she'd have bust you in your shit. Then what? So Mia walks away. She calls Gordon. Wendy is still sitting at the table. You're a boss. You're a CEO. You're a boss. You've embarrassed yourself. You've embarrassed your business. Well, she has. She's embarrassed herself and her business too. But I think that what Wendy should have done is when you got that water thrown in your face, you should have got the fuck up and left the table and went home. They're both, Mia is dead ass wrong in this, but Wendy was like engaging in a verbal altercation with her as well. Mia calls Gordon and tells him to find her a flight. She wants to go home. Robin is talking to Wendy, saying that she is antagonizing her. She said that she's antagonizing her. Wendy is like, so if somebody throws a drink on me, am I not supposed to defend myself? I'm not supposed to say anything back? Robin is like, don't you throw no drink on me. She didn't say she was going to. She's asking a hypothetical question. Robin looking for any reason to get into a physical fight with Wendy. She wants one. Robin wants one so bad for whatever reason. So while Mia's talking to Gordon, Robin, Jacqueline, and Giselle are now going to talk to Mia. She tells them she's going home, holds up her hand, two of her nails are broken and bloody. Well, that's your fault because you chose to hit somebody. You chose to swing your purse. You did that to yourself. She didn't cause you to do that. She's not the one, she didn't hit you at all. So Mia saying that she wants to go home. Tells Gordon that Wendy said that he sleeps with other men and women. Back at the table, Karen asks Wendy, did the insults come after she threw the drink at you? Wendy said yes. We get a flashback and she throws the drink. 45 seconds later, Wendy does say the shit she said about her husband. Karen then asks, is it true that you say it out of anger? Wendy said she said it out of anger, but there is a rumor. Now, you can't talk about a rumor about somebody else's husband when you had a fit when Ashley brought up a rumor that was on a blog about your husband. But y'all are going to overlook that because it's Wendy. Y'all are going to completely overlook that because it's Wendy. If Wendy should have never brought that up. Now, Wendy was better off just saying that she brought it up out of anger. Ashley says she likes Mia, but she does not like this. She doesn't like the physicality of it, the drinks, the bag. That's not cool with her. Giselle comes back to the table because she wants to eat. And they ask, how is Mia doing? Giselle said, well, she isn't doing well, understandably. And she's trying to figure out her next couple of days. Wendy stands up and said that she isn't going to sit with the Mia empathizer. And it's weird. It's kind of, on par for Giselle to now be okay with violence when she wasn't okay with Monique and Candace. I don't care if y'all say that I'm wrong in this. Giselle didn't come back and say Mia was justified. She said Mia isn't doing well, understandably. I don't know how that got taken to mean that she was on Mia's side with that statement. That particular statement. She didn't come back and say, well, you were wrong or anything like that. So they're all just sitting there, Karen, Ashley, and Giselle, looking at Wendy, who now walks away. While Wendy is walking away, she then said if she's in the house, she's going to beat the shit out of her. I don't know who that was directed towards. I don't know if she means Giselle or if she means Mia. But this entire episode was a mess. Completely unnecessary. None of this should have happened. And I know y'all are screaming that this is colorism and blah, blah, blah. A lot of this comes down to them not liking Mia. Not liking Wendy. Mia wanting to be on Giselle and Robin's side. And then ultimately, production and Bravo need to step in and do something about this. Because you can't have somebody throwing a drink, even if it was just water. You can't have somebody throwing a drink on somebody and then hitting them. She needs to be, Mia needs to be off the show. Point blank, period. Because if y'all are gonna get Monique, who's Monique was, grabbing on the Candace and beating her on top of the head. But if you're going to, if Monique was, and we know that Monique stepped away herself, but Mia needs to be kind of iced out in the same way. But we know they're not going to do it because they don't like Wendy. They don't like Wendy. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode, and I will catch you guys in the next one.